As you are all well aware, John Wall has gone out with an injury. It's not really for that long, so it shouldn't be a huge deal, especially considering our upcoming schedule. But what it is a chance for Cade to really prove that he is our starting point guard. Now, my phone has been blowing up so far with trades from other teams. You know how it gets near the trade deadline. I've been offered tons of things recently, from Miles Turner and a second for Christian Wood to some random player plus a first for KPJ. So far, nothing has caught my attention, and there aren't really any moves that I want to make at this trade deadline, honestly. We're still kind of gauging what kind of team we are and what we want out of our current roster, so it's more than likely that unless something huge comes up, that we're just going to stand pat here at this trade deadline. I know that's probably not a popular opinion among fans. I've seen all over people wanting Christian and John moved, but at this point, I think they're just too valuable for us in different ways. Christian is our best pick and roll threat, not to mention he can also stretch the floor at the 5 spot and is a very good rebounder. He's also on a steal of a contract and only like 26 years old. John's contract situation is a bit different, considering he'll be making around $46 million for us next season when he accepts his player option. But as a backup point guard next year, as well as a newfound leader in the locker room, I do think he still provides a lot of value for us. But if any offers that pique my interest come up, I'll definitely keep note of them. I don't suspect that will happen, though. But I have a lot of calls to take and a lot of conversations to have with staff. The trade deadline is only a couple weeks away. Coach, what a couple of weeks for our team, huh? Going 4-2, beating conference rivals in the Jazz and Mavericks. I mean, that will help us out a lot in the standings. Not to mention, we've really seen what Cade can be in these few games. Sure, it's not against the best guards in the league or anything, but honestly, it's still really promising. I mean, what did he have the other night against the Jazz? Like 24 and 14? 14 assists, and he still got his. Not to mention, Christian had like 20 points and 19 rebounds as well. Just a great duo so far, and that has led us to some good wins. Not to mention, he had 36 points against the Raptors too, and completely dismantled them in the fourth quarter to seal the win for us. Is there anything that you noticed in particular about this week for him?
One thing I have taken notice of is his increased aggression. It's very clear he's been getting more comfortable in NBA offenses, and he has definitely been upping his ability to draw fouls. Considering how big he is, that could be something really big for him too. If he's not able to finish through bigger defenders, he'll be able to draw fouls, whereas earlier in the season, he may have been a bit more hesitant. He's been able to finish over smaller guards most of the time. It's not every time, obviously, but the frequency has definitely been upped. But he's also been keeping his head on a swivel at all times, so even when he is in the middle of the defense, he is always making sure to be aware of where his teammates are. He's been finding open three-point shooters, as well as finding cutters and rolling big men at the exact time that he needs to. Overall, I'm just really pleased with how he's progressing. I've even seen his handle become tighter and his dribbles more controlled and deliberate. He's really coming into his own as a true leader of an offense. Our future looks pretty bright with him, but we've also had plenty of other guys step up and be real options for us as well. Gary Trent, he can go for 15 in a quarter, just like that. He catches fire like dry shrubs. His three-point shooting is ridiculous. I hope you have plans to extend him, because man, he is an amazing floor spacer. Christian has been good as of late. It's clear to me that he just needs consistent playing time, and he'll get in the groove of things pretty easily. KPJ has been good, although inconsistent at times. There's stretches where he'll make every shot he takes, and there's stretches where he won't make anything for some time. That doesn't stop him from taking shots though. So, despite one of our main sources of offense being out, we've been doing pretty well. Once we get John back, I definitely expect us to be right in the middle of a playoff push in the Western Conference.
That's awesome, Coach. I'm really glad the team is coming along, honestly way sooner than expected. We are some player development and a few pieces away from really being a competitive playoff team, and that is saying something for this conference.
We are definitely well on our way to being a competitive team. But the trade deadline is in a few days. Is there anything I should know about that you're talking about?
Well, we did agree to let Nerlens go. He could definitely provide some value to a contending team, but he's really just an injury replacement for us. I did bring in Luke Cornett for the rest of the year as an injury replacement at the center spot, but I haven't had more than exploratory talks with teams in the trade market, and even those have been pretty limited. So don't expect any moves. I'm not really keen on shaking up what we've got here anyway, but I'll let you go. We've got a big second half of the season coming up for us.